Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Tom Rayleigh. The scenario is The Terrible Secret of Lot X. It was written by Luke Strom, and he is also our GM. This is episode 3. I will do a short recap. So, without any further interruptions, let's continue our journey into the darkness. After we returned from the horrors of the shipwreck, we sought more information at the auction house on the old Pell estate. Most of his stuff had been sold to the Great Eastern Tannery of Bolton, Massachusetts. Nothing much else was at the estate except a mention of the Necronomicon, and most disturbingly, a picture of Pell himself, which seemed to match the description of Cornelius's assailant. Could Pell still be alive? Later, we went to Pell's old business, but it was emptied out. Also, we told the police everything we saw. The police went to the location and found piles of dead and rotting bodies in a pit beneath the shipwreck. But the body of the creature, Gek, was nowhere to be found, except perhaps for some strange bones that looked far more animal than human. Luke?
Okay, well, thank you. And where we had last left off, you guys as a group had just pulled up outside of the Great Eastern Tannery. And what you see is a pair of large industrial buildings, like looks like the tannery proper. All kinds of rather powerful smells are emitting from it. Off to one side, to kind of the left side of the main complex of buildings, there's what looks like maybe an office building, which seems to have a sign over the entrance, and looks like that's where any of their formal business would be done. As the lot of you get out of your cars, go ahead and make a spot hidden check.
Fail.
Pass.
Fail for me.
Okay.
I
got a pass.
Okay, so who do we got? Frank and Aunt Gertie?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, the two of you tending to deal a little more in day-to-day commerce than the rest of your cohorts. Notice looks like there's a couple of workers on a smoke break out in front of one of the main tannery buildings. And as you guys pull up and get out of your car, it catches your eyes that they seem to have taken notice of you. And one of them actually ducks inside and comes back a moment later with another person who, just by his bearing, looks like maybe he's a shift lead or something like that. African American man, middle aged, and he's got a leather smock on, and you're too far away to hear, but it looks like they're kind of discussing each other, possibly even discussing you guys.
Well, where's the office?
Yeah, the office isn't too far off. You can see it there. There's a couple of cars parked out front near it. So a lot of you guys make your way towards the office.
Yeah.
What exactly do we want to say?
I think we should stick with the story we've kind of been telling, in that we're just trying to follow up on the auction of this that we had taken part in, and we're just trying to find if there were some more missing pieces that probably ought to be brought together that might have been accidentally sold here.
Maybe we could pretend to be maybe a member of the family, the extended family. And we don't know why his stuff got sold off so easily. We weren't notified.
Right. Yeah, I could show off my business card, let them know that, hey, that the will was wrongly, processed or something. So,
Whatever you think is best, Randall.
Oh, what's best is what keeps you safe, so you can keep putting my kids through college.
Yes, of
Maybe-
course.
Maybe you can lead the way then, because you can. That's sort of the angle we can take. That there may have been some legal problems. It's a good idea.
Sounds good. Of course.
That's a good angle.
Yeah.
Okay. So Cornelius, you're bringing up the lead on this.
No, Randall is.
Oh, Randall is. Okay.
Yeah, I'll take the lead.
Okay. Well, Randall, you make your way into the Great Eastern Tannery office. It's a nicely appointed office. It definitely sees a lot of industrial business from the look of it. Like, I mean, it's not nearly as fancy as Aunt Gertie's shop, for example, or anything like that. Like, you can see stains on the floor from where people have probably walked through when they should have cleaned their boots first, but haven't. Things like that. In front of you, there's a reception desk that's set up there, and a portly woman smiles at you and says, "How can I help you, sir?"
I got to put on a little bit of airs, like, I'm trying to be careful to avoid the stains on the floor. And I'm like, oh, yes, my good madam. My name is Randall Eckley, Esquire, from Arkham. And I was inquiring to look at who around here would be involved in purchases and all. We're following up on on an auction where some estate family heirlooms were sold rather prematurely.
Heirlooms, I see. Well, as far as any kind of purchases or anything like that, that would probably be the Eliases. Definitely, they'd help you out. But where are my manners? I'm Sandra Parker. It's good to meet you. Anyways. Yeah, with it.
Charmed.
Gertrude,
thank you, sir. So, if you'd like to hold here for a moment, I see there's quite a few of you. Looks like may not be enough seats for you, but if you'd like to mill around here, you can have some of the coffee. I'll see if Mildred is available, and she would be the best one to meet with you. So give me just a moment. She kind of
you're too kind.
picks herself up and kind of walks back down a little hallway. There's a few doors down there.
Do any of you want some coffee? I'll pour some for you.
I'll have a cup.
Coffee.
I would love some, Aunt Gertie.
All right.
Now, Aldous, don't you think this office could use some touching up,
Couple skulls, maybe some peacock feathers on the wall there.
How about some more dead animals? They probably got a whole bunch of dead animals in the back. What else do they? Yeah.
Do you think so? And I start kind of walking that way, looking.
Well, it's a tannery. What would they tan?
Well, the leather, but I don't think there'd be taxidermy in here.
Well, I was just saying that
Leather walls.
leather is a dead animal, my friend.
Well, Sandra, the office assistant, makes her way out of an office room in the hallway and kind of beams at the lot of you and says, "Well, as a matter of fact, Mildred's available. It might be a bit cramped, but if you want to come back here, sir, I don't know if there's enough room for all of you, but she's available to speak with you right now."
Oh, you're too kind. Thank you very much. And who would like to join? Of course, Mr. Felton, since you are the relative of the interested party, we would definitely need you.
I'll come.
Oh, yes.
I can stay out here.
Okay.
I'll stay out
Okay.
here too.
So Randall, Cornelius, and Aunt Gertie. The three of you guys make your way past her.
1 second. As soon as it's possible that she's can't hear, I'll lean over to Frank as I'm going and just say, snoop around a bit, see what we can find out.
Okay, she's still down the hall, so you can
Right.
say that before you leave.
Yeah. All right, so then I follow.
Okay. So With that, the three of you guys head into the office. There's a nameplate on the office that says Mildred Elias, President, and as you guys head in, before we get to you guys, we'll go ahead and deal with Frank and Aldous first. Sandra makes her way back to her seat, begins working on some paperwork she was in the middle of before you guys arrived. Frank and Aldous, what are the two of you up to?
Is there the door we came through, like behind it, before we came in, is it like a warehouse type situation? Could we just kind of walk away while she's working, or do we have to pass?
This building is a little off to the side of the main tannery building. It's kind of its own standalone. You kind of came into a main area. There's a small like little reception area for where people might wait or get coffee or whatever, and then behind that is a hallway that leads to several doors.
But would we have to pass her to get to that?
And down that hallway was where the door that they turned into was. But I mean, if you wanted to go to the tannery itself, you just walk back out the front door and then just walk there. Like it's just across the yard.
And one other question: how old is the woman at the desk?
Hard to say. Maybe in her late 30s.
Okay. I look at Frank and should we go outside or do you want to go back there?
I'll give you a finger to tell you to wait, and then I'll go up to the. Her name was Sandra.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'll go up to Sandra.
Hey there, dearie.
Excuse me, Miss. Was there a restroom nearby?
Oh, yes, certainly. There's one right back down the hall. It'll be the second door on your right.
All right, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
As I head back, I'll tell Aldous. I left some stuff in the car. Do you want to go and check on that?
All right. So I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'll head down the hall.
Okay. Yeah, the hall
bathroom in a bathroomish heading.
Yeah. So there's two doors on the left. The first door on the left is the one that they went into. There's two doors on the right, and then there's one door at the end of the hall.
All right. And the bathroom was the one on the
second door on the right.
Second door on the right. Okay. Go for the first door on the right. Just kind of listen to what's going on behind the door. Is that the one with the placard on it?
No. The one that says president, that's on the left.
Okay.
The door on the right, you open that one up, or first you listen. You don't hear any sound, and then I'm guessing you open it. Looks like it's a meeting room or conference room. Right now, there's no one in there.
All right. They're not going to store anything worthwhile in the conference room, so close it up.
Okay.
And then I'll hit the next, because there's only one door on the left, and then there's one on the
two doors on the left, two doors on the right, one at the end of the hall.
All right, I will do the one on the end of the hall.
Okay, so the one on the end of the hall actually looks like it opens up into a small storage room. Looks like there's just a lot of miscellaneous knickknacks, tools, cleaning supplies in here, and then there's a door beyond that goes out, like a back door to the building. And
there's no crates or anything similar to the lot.
Nothing like that you see here. I mean, it looks like there's some miscellaneous tools. Probably some of these tools are actually tools that look like they would be used for some of the heavier equipment that's probably in the tannery. But outside of that, it's that kind of stuff and some cleaning equipment. Nothing really of note that stands out to you.
All right. And then the last door on the left there.
Okay. Yeah, you open up that door, and it looks like it is maybe a file room. Like there's a bunch of filing cabinets and stuff in there, and a desk in there as well. With that, make a spot hidden check.
That's a pass.
And looking over it real quick, the desk looks like it's been recently cleaned out.
All right.
Like it's got to look like it's been used for a lot of work. And
Top's all scuffed up.
Yeah, it has that look like it's been whoever was sitting there isn't sitting there anymore.
All right. Guess I'll look around the desk, see if there's anything of note.
Outside of that, not really too much of note. I mean, with it, like I said, you see like a few things just kind of left over in the desk that look like it had been used by somebody and maybe hadn't been totally cleaned out, but the some of the papers that are left sitting by, in the desk when you open one of the drawers have relatively recent dates from the last few months. So it's not, whoever stopped working here at this desk, it was recent, probably in the last month or so.
All right.
But nothing weird or out of the ordinary outside of that.
Okay. Then I'll just go to the restroom and critique their janitorial policies.
Certainly. It's actually kept pretty clean. And while you make use of the water closet, Aldous, you head outside?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you make your way back out into the parking lot area. Go ahead and make another spot hidden test.
All right. Ooh, 20. Just a regular success.
Yeah, so that
oh no, I'm sorry, a hard success.
Okay, so that shop steward that Gertie and Frank had noticed earlier, you notice him now. Like he's he's got a couple of smoking buddies that are there, but he is obviously not smoking. He's just kind of watching you, but looking like he's trying not too hard to watch you.
All right, I'm going to pretend I don't see him, and I'm going to kind of like start walking around, looking at the building, look like if I'm maybe looking to buy it, or I'm going to want to let him come over if he's that interested in me.
Okay.
Don't even glance at him again. Like I'll just use my peripherals. Looking at the windows, kick the door, like the frame a little, Like I'm really interested in this building for some reason.
Well, when you do that, his demeanor kind of changes. Like you start looking over the building like you're inspecting the place.
Mm-hmm.
And he actually kind of at first kind of like subtly nods in your direction, but you're kind of trying to not pay attention to him, so you don't really quite notice at first, and then like he kind of actually just is gesturing for you to come over.
All right, I'll stroll over there then.
And when you come over to him, he looks a little bit nervous, and he says, "You there, sir? Are you looking for something?"
We might be. What would you have in mind?
Well, just wondering if you and your friends are an odd little group. Are you looking for somebody?
Well, we're looking for some books and some stuff from an estate.
Oh. So you're not here about the missing people then?
Kind of.
He says that, and he kind of glances around, like looking around.
All right, yeah. What do you know? Now I'm just gonna go with it.
Okay. Well, I thought that was a bunch of weird people coming around. I figured that was what you were here for.
Yeah, but we're not gonna just.
You were family members or something, but you're not.
Yeah, exactly. But can you tell me what you know?
Um, I knew they didn't go to. I knew they didn't go to Colorado. I knew it. Um, yeah. All the people that left.
Yeah.
You
Well, what else can you tell me though?
kind of eyes you over like he's not really sure if he should trust you.
And you could definitely hear my accent. I go,
Yeah.
I'm like, do you think I travel halfway around the world for nothing?
Kind of motions it over here, sir, and kind of brings you around the side of the building, kind of away from everybody. And he reaches into a back pocket and takes out a folded up piece of paper and hands it to you. And from what it looks like, it's a recruitment flyer for a company called Falsk Industries, some kind of mining and refining business from the look of the pamphlet in Colorado. It's offering good pay, startup bonuses, and things like that. Do you have any kind of accounting or business related?
I only have 5% accounting, and remember, I don't really read English, so I'm just gonna pretend that I understand what. Very interesting.
Well, you can tell it's some kind of mining pamphlet, and there's like dollar signs and stuff on it.
Yeah.
He's like,
I mean, I know a few words.
Yeah.
I'm not illiterate. I just don't read English.
Yeah. He says, people said they went here, but I don't think so. Bunch of people.
That was our thinking too, but we just, we're not. Is there anything else you could tell me? I mean, it just my friends, and it would never come back that you said anything. And I do have charm, so.
Yeah, go ahead and roll your charm.
All right, let me see. Oh wait, I don't have that much. I thought I had more. Hold on. Can I burn 2 luck points?
Yeah.
I just have a basic success.
So he says, well, yeah. Anyway, so the boss, she said, if any more got out about this, I was going to lose my job. But she said if she found any of these flyers around, but I think she was almost too eager to get rid of them. These flyers, they didn't even. If you ask me, they didn't even show up until people started disappearing, until after they started disappearing.
And how many people disappeared from here?
I've had to replace a whole shift full of people.
Oh my God. Is there any, how about this? Do you want to meet for a drink later and you could talk with my companion? I'm sure we could compensate you for your time.
I guess. Sure. Money's money.
Where's the closest diner to here, or on your way home?
Oh yeah, there's a little place up on 5th Street in the corner of 5th and Main.
All right. So what time do you get out of work?
Well, I'll be out around 3.
So want to meet there at 3:30?
Sure enough, that's what. If you think you might be able to find out what happened to these people, because I'm worried.
All right. What's your name again? I'm sorry.
My name, sir, it's Saul Washington, and you are
Aldous Gladstone.
Aldous, I appreciate it. These people at the tannery, people on the ships, they they're like my family, and I seeing this many people go away, and the police saw these flyers and they're just set everybody up and left. And I mean, sure, it makes sense, it's good money, but that many people wouldn't just up and leave, not without telling nobody.
Let me hold on to the flyer. I'll meet you at 5th and Main at 3:30. Let's split up before you see anybody else sees us talking. And I grab the flyer and I'll see you there. And I just walk over.
You have a good day, Mr. Aldous.
You too.
And he walks back into the tannery after that.
All right.
Meanwhile, inside. Aunt Gertie, Randall, and Cornelius, you make your way into have made your way into the office, and in there, it's a pleasant, nice office with a wonderful wooden desk. A little bit sparsely decorated outside of that, though. There's a name plaque which looks shiny and new that says Mildred Elias, Great Eastern Tannery President, on the desk. And seated behind it is a rather attractive woman with long blonde and graying hair. And she looks over the lot of you and kind of takes up some paperwork she's working on and kind of sets it to one side and steeples her fingers at her desk and says, so I understand you're interested in a purchase that my tannery made recently?
Yes, I'm Gertrude Freitag.
Oh, well, hello, madam.
Very nice office you have here. I imagine, I'm surprised a woman running all of this. You must be very proud.
Oh, indeed, yes. Well, my brother had been the president before me, but unfortunately, he's been rather ill lately and has had to take a bit of a constitutional. And in that time, I've taken over the position. Hopefully, he'll be able to come back someday, but with it, for now, I can't be sure. The doctors aren't certain.
Well, I'm just sort of here as collateral. We're really here with Cornelius and Randall there. Sorry.
Yes, pleased to meet you. I'm Cornelius.
Oh, charmed Cornelius. And you, sir?
Mr. Randall Eckley, Esquire, and I whip out one of my business cards and hand it over to her, of course.
Well,
I represent Mr. Felton.
Oh, I see. And well, what brings you to my wonderful tannery? I apologize for the smell. Unfortunately, as we like to say, that's the unfortunate smell of money.
Yes, it would be. Well, the reason that we have come to bother you, my dear ma'am, is that Mr. Felton, he is looking for some of his second cousin's products that were some goods that were sold from an estate when his second cousin unfortunately passed away, and it was sold in an estate sale, and I think that the bank got a little ahead of itself and maybe have liquidated the assets prior to doing a proper search for the will. Of course, we found the will, and it turns out that Mr. Felton should have been inheriting this, and we're just trying to search it down. Sentimental value, of course, and all. Nothing.
I see. Well, I'm sorry to hear about that. That's definitely trouble. That sounds like Woodrow, definitely.
Oh, Woodrow.
My brother, yes.
So unfortunate.
He would purchase things occasionally at auction, usually business related, but not always. Sometimes, when the fancy strikes him, and usually bill it to the tannery's accounts. But we've always got slack for that. Unfortunately, he would be the person to ask, and he is in no real position to tell you too much about it, unfortunately.
Yes, I'm terribly sorry. How long has he been sick?
Oh, well, it's been at least a month now. And
sorry, GM, just want to ask you, does that correlate with the time that the Pete bought the estate?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's well after he would have bought the estate.
Oh my. We were able to get a hold of some of Pell's stuff, but
what kind of stuff? What kind of materials is it?
Well, he liked very much to collect Oriental items, and we managed to secure a few of those. However, some of the things that we acquired were quite dangerous. he had some sort of what we thought was a like an Asian tea that he had in the container, and as it turned out, it was quite poisonous. And I'm just wondering now if your brother obtained some of these things. I'm wondering if his illness has anything to do with it.
That could be a possibility. She looks like she's kind of deep in thought. Everybody, if you're concentrating on her, you can make a psychology roll. If you're just kind of looking around the office, you can make a spot hidden roll, whichever is more relevant.
I'm kind of concentrating on her.
Oh, I failed my psychology roll.
I don't read her very well at all.
And I failed my spot hidden.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're distracted by her blonde and gray hair.
Cornelius is just trying very hard not to look at her because he's embarrassed. He's a little smitten by her beauty, but so he's trying his best to not stare. But I feel my spot hidden, so.
Of course, the items in question, as my nephew says, for sentimental reasons, we understand, of course, that your brother may purchase these very legitimately from the auction house. So there's not really anything that we can do, but we do have finances where we could buy them back. And I am concerned, now that I think of it, for his health, if you say he's become sick just in the past month. If he's any of these strange items from the Orient, they have all sorts of different poisons and dangerous items. Can I try to persuade her?
Yeah, you can make a persuade roll on this.
Oh, I only have 40. Oh. I got a 00. So everything that I say just sounds completely flat, I guess.
Well, I mean, you could try to push it at risk of getting thrown out of the office. I mean, you guys are totally welcome to push your rolls.
No, I'm afraid I may have overspoken. We're not in any reason to pressure you on any of this. We're just rather
you seem to be quite busy, and we're really sorry on what happened to your brother, and you're doing such a wonderful job, and we would hate if anything that he has to continue troubling him, so that way he can get feeling better. Can I roll a charm?
Yeah, go for it.
I pass with a 40.
My sexy nephew.
I have a 65 charm and a 90 size. I have a big heart, literally and figuratively.
Well, she smiles and says, "Well, Mr. Cornelius, I suppose I could probably round up some of his artifacts. Most of them were in storage, I'm afraid, and I don't really know too much about them at all. That might take some time, though.
I have a card because I run an antique store, actually. So here's my card. You could call me."
Yeah, she takes your card, looks it over, and says, "Well, thank you, madam." And Cornelius, she kind of looks back at you. Make another spot hidden check.
Wish me luck, boy.
Come on.
Nope, I failed.
Okay. No problem. So with it, unless you want to push it.
No, with the spot hidden the 25, not gonna happen.
Okay. Well, she says, Well, yeah, that would take some time. Unfortunately, I don't really know where too many of the materials are. I think he left most of them in storage somewhere. I'd have to dig up the information about it, and that might take some time.
Here, I can give you something so you can hire a temporary assistant if you would like.
Well, with that. That there's no need for that, Cornelius, but I appreciate it, definitely. Well, with it, it's more a matter of figuring out where where he left his documentation. My brother was always a bit sloppy with that sort of thing, and left a lot of the bookkeeping to me. But with his personal stuff, I usually didn't touch that. So with it, I mean, if you gave me some time, maybe a week or so, I could perhaps gather a list of what we might have.
Well, I mean, we understand the that you're a busy woman and everything running this and all. We're very sorry to hear about your brother's illness. Does he have someone that's taking care of him full time? Perhaps we could speak with that person.
Oh no, well, with it, I like I said, that's something I'll take care of. Don't worry about that. But it'll just take me some time because I doubt even he knows where half of that stuff is. If truth be told, Woodrow was always a bit reckless. If it hadn't been for me, this place would have been fallen apart years ago.
Oh, I understand. Okay.
Well, we've probably taken up too much of her time.
I agree. Well, you have my card. You have the beautiful Gertrude's card. So please just let us know when you're able to look that up. Obviously, I'll talk. Mr. Felton will be able to recompense you for the time and for the items. And like I said, we're mostly just looking for sentimental values. If we're not looking to make some money off of you, of course not.
Oh, no problem.
While this is happening, I'll just be sitting in the lobby, socializing with
Sandra.
Yeah, Sandra.
Okay. I bid her adieu and come out to the lobby.
Okay.
Does Aldous come back in?
Yeah, he's probably the last one to come back in. Who's the last one out of her office?
I will be.
Okay. So as you go, she says, please close the door on your way out. And you get one last spot hidden check.
All right.
Fingers crossed.
14. I passed the spot.
There you go.
Woohoo.
So with it, as you go and close the door, just you glimpse it just out of the corner of your eyes. You're going to kind of close the door and bring it and pull it after you. Behind the door is a box of stuff with a jacket thrown over it. It kind of didn't really blend it in the background before, but you notice as you begin to swing the door and just before you walk out of sight of it, you actually notice what looks like definitely some kind of porcelain bowl with Chinese characters written on it. Kind of half peeking out from the jacket as you close the door after. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to stop for a second. I'm going to go, oh, do you need help moving these? Are they in your way?
Oh, don't worry about that. That's just some things I need to take to the trash. But I still need to finish cleaning up a few things.
Well, you seem terribly busy. I can take those out to the trash for you.
She says, no, that's no problem, Cornelius, but thank you very much for your time. Have a wonderful day.
Yes, you as well.
Once Cornelius closes the door, I kind of go, what was that about?
Well, Randall, she appears to have some covered boxes behind her door that have what looks to be some Oriental pottery to me.
I gotcha. I look back as I assume the office door is shut.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'll walk over and lean over and kind of look at Sandra. I'm going, and I'll hold my hand where I strategically cover up my wedding ring. Of course, and I'll be going, that is a very charming woman that runs this company. Is she married?
Oh, Mildred? No. Oh, she's so gorgeous. I don't know how that's the case, though.
Oh, well, sometimes you just haven't met the right person and all, What time does she usually get off? Maybe she has a place that I could just bump into her, and without the crowd around, of course.
Well, she tends to be pretty busy with the tannery, especially without Woodrow around. So it's mostly just her making all the executive decisions. But with it, I would say, unfortunately, that's probably why she's still single. She's a bit of a homebody. I mean, from what I know, she mostly just goes straight home.
Oh, that is the most unfortunate and all. But I of course would be improper of me to ask where she lives. But perhaps I could.
Estate's beautiful though.
Oh, is it? Oh, well. Thank you. Maybe I'll swing by. Would you say I could possibly swing in? I of course would not too late, but would 7 o'clock be a good chance to possibly see her?
Make a charm or persuade roll. Or if you just want to rely on your brute animal charisma, you can also just make an appearance roll.
No, I do not want to make an appearance roll. I did make my persuade. The good lawyers.
Well, around 7, that probably would be okay. Although I don't know if she and her brother are used to visitors like that out of the blue, but yeah, she's on the outskirts of town on Wood Owl Road. You'll see the turn for the Elias estate. You can't miss it. It's got a wrought iron fence in front of it.
Oh, well, thank you. And of course, I'll make no mention that you gave me this wonderful intel, but I might invite you to the wedding if I'm so lucky.
Oh my
goodness. Of course, I kiss her hand and put my full charm on.
Jesus Christ, Randall.
Curtsy, that language.
Hun, I was halfway thinking that I'd like a tour, but I don't know if I can handle the smell. It's strong from here. Yeah. Do they work 24 hours over there, or?
Oh, in the tannery itself, it depends on the season, really. Usually, we run at least 2 shifts. So if there's a number of orders to make, then we may run the full 3 shifts and have the tannery open all night. It really depends.
What time do you open up in the morning, your offices?
Oh, here? Oh.
Yeah.
Typically 9 a.m.
9 a.m.? What, 9 to 5 you work?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much for the coffee.
Oh, you're very welcome. It's been a pleasure.
All right, so I'm gonna
Now,
unless you guys want to do something.
no, I was gonna say once we get outside, I go. Let's get to the car. I want to show you guys something.
Right.
As Randall, you dog.
Oh, well, now we know when she won't be here, and we can maybe see if that box is still around.
Well, I'm more interested in swinging by the house before she returns.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good idea also. Let's see what Mr. Gladstone has. He seems quite excited about something.
Well, as we're walking to the car, if there's nobody around, I'm saying take a look at the building and everything. You guys scoped it out from the inside. If we needed to break in the middle of the night to have a look around, unfortunately, she said sometimes there's a 24-hour shift. There's 2 shifts on the building. I bet you're surprised that I'm so thinking about breaking into the place. I
know you're getting quite adventurous, Andy. Good for you.
I've been around the block, honey.
Well, we have an inside person now, Mr. Saul Washington, the shift manager.
Oh, really?
And there's a back door to the office building there.
Excellent.
Once we get in the car, I don't want to take that paper out until we're in the car because I just don't know who's watching.
Well, let's
And-
take a drive. Yeah.
We get in the car. We got to go to 5th and Main at 3:30. We got a lunch day with Mr. Washington, and I passed the paper to the Mr. Eckley, the lawyer. I go, "What do you make of this?"
Oh, I read it over. It looked like a typical kind of recruitment flyer for a mining company. Yeah, I assume they're.
Yeah, that's basically what it looks like. Do you have any accounting skill?
Unfortunately, no. I'm not that. Apparently, I'm not that kind of lawyer.
Okay.
Why don't you let
Actually,
me look at it?
As a
You could
lawyer, do
appraise
you
it.
have? Did you take writing or anything like that?
I did. Now I'm more specialized in forensics and all. But yeah, but I think Gertrude, being a business owner, she
I've
probably.
got accounting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What do you make of this?
Want me to roll accounting?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got 14 out of 70.
Okay, so yeah, you're looking over with the bonuses and the salaries that they're offering. It is way high, like not impossibly so, but the amounts that they're offering are really big.
Way above what you would expect for mining.
Yeah, definitely. Like even trying to pull people like from a faraway a place, like the amounts are high for that.
This is quite strange, honey. I mean, you look at this. First of all, why would they be recruiting just general population? I mean, these are Tannas, right? They're not miners. And the wages that they're offering here are way above what you'd expect them to be for an employee in a mine.
Yeah, definitely for untrained miners. That's
Right.
nuts.
It's
Well-
like they're trying to. If I didn't know, well, and I don't know any better, but it's like somebody is trying to pull the employees away from this place.
And well, Mr. Washington waved me over, and he asked if we're investigating the disappearances. So I really had no clue what he was talking about, but I pretended I knew, and that's why we were all here. And then he said he's lost at least a full shift of people over the last, I think he said month or so. I'm not really sure. Kind of got a little nervous. I'm good with animals, not people. But he said he's lost a bunch of people, and he doesn't think that they went there. He thinks they're gone. They've disappeared. I told him to meet us at the little diner. He suggested 5th and Main at 3:30 when he gets off his shift at 3:00. So I told him we were investigating the disappearances, so we're going to have to roll with that story if we want him to trust us.
Okay.
But maybe somebody else is better at.
Well, I don't know what the reason would be for me to be a part of that. He didn't. I'm just with you, but
He doesn't know who we are.
that's
We could
true.
be anybody we want to be when we sit.
But I
At
look like everybody's grandma.
You're the specialist on whatever, you know.
I'm the bullshit specialist.
But what
but
you
why
guys
would-
find out? Oh, sorry.
Why would somebody want to ruin the tannery by sucking away all of its employees?
But now, Alice, did he say that they never returned to work, or that they just disappeared everywhere?
They're supposedly going to that mining company, but
Yeah.
I think he's lost all contact with them, and
Oh.
he's extremely afraid.
Rendell, can you work some contacts to see if this mining company is legitimate?
Yeah, I could reach out, see if they do exist. I'm very curious now. I mean,
What time is it right now, GM?
You're muted.
Okay, well, you guys had gotten up. I think this was the next day after you'd done all the work from the previous day, correct? I believe so.
yes.
So it's still relatively early. I mean, you guys drove up from Arkham and checked this place out, so you guys still have the bulk of the day left over.
Okay.
It's like
So maybe-
late morning.
Maybe some of us should go pay Mr. Woodrow a visit. Well, Randall, if you want to,
Yeah, drop me off over at the wherever you would look up.
maybe you should find maybe the cafe has a phone, so somebody can be there in case we take a little too much time to meet
if we can get into that office at some point in the middle of the night without breaking the lock, but actually picking the lock so that nobody ever knows that we were there, we can go through their files and find out the names of these employees who've left.
Well, maybe Mr. Washington. Sorry, I spoke over you.
Go. I think I know what you were going to say. Ask Mr. Washington the names of the employees that have disappeared. That's probably neat.
Or to let us in the middle.
But you're going to see him this afternoon, right?
Yeah, maybe he could just let us in. And I think if we're not there at 3:30, we might spook him and lose him.
I have a funny feeling that he probably doesn't have a key to the main office.
Or at least not that, but maybe just to the building itself.
We could, and I got a little specialty. We could set it up to where it looks like more of a random break-in.
Well, I don't want it to look like anything. I want him to have no idea that we were there. But I don't think I like the idea of letting Mr. Washington know that we're trying to break into the office.
But yes, your knitting skills, Aunt Gertie, they'll come in great handy picking locks. Yes, a little.
Honey, you know what the size of a knitting needle is? I wouldn't even be able to get the tip of the knitting needle into the hole.
No, well, that's a shame.
That's what bobby pins are for, hon.
Oh, yes. Yes, those little things that are all around your house.
Dang, I wish my lockpicking skill was higher than 1%.
Right. I don't have any.
Same here.
I'm going to go practice right now. Maybe it's easier than I think.
So I'm going to have him drop me off at the records office where I can start doing some research on this company, the Falsk Industries. That was the mining company, correct?
Yeah. Okay. So you're gonna just go for like a law roll, try to look through.
Exactly.
Business filings and things like that. Yeah, go for it.
All right, that's a hard success.
Okay. So with that, you're gonna head off. It's gonna take you a little while to dig that up. Is anybody else up to anything in the meantime?
Yes, I would like to go pay Mr. Woodrow a visit.
Okay. Where do you plan to do that?
I want to swing by the house along the road, the Wood Owl Road.
Okay, you're gonna go to the location that Randall got told about.
Yep.
Okay. Are you going with Randall? No.
I'll go with Randall.
I'm busy digging through paperwork and stuff like that.
We're going to go be bookworms. It's going to be great.
Okay. So Frank and Randall are going to go check out information, look for the company. Cornelius, you're going to go to Stately Elias Manor. Who else is going to go with Cornelius?
I'll go with Cornelius.
Yeah, I'll go because we only have one vehicle, so I assume we drop them off and then go.
Yeah. And you guys still got a few hours until you have your meetup with Mr. Washington.
We could always ride the ostrich.
And don't bring that ostrich up again. That's a creepy animal. But I might stop by Timeless Treasures and see if either Max or Clyde have a little bit of the sticky finger opening the locks thing, you know.
Well, you guys are up in Bolton right now, so you have to drive back to Arkham and back out here, which would probably eat up like an hour and a half or so.
But we'd be coming back in the middle of the night anyway, so.
Say we can do it later.
All dressed in black. I haven't worn black since my husband died.
Well, it's probably about 11:30 a.m. or so when you guys make your way down Wood Owl Road. And this is kind of a wooded area on the outskirts of Bolton itself. And just like just like the assistant had mentioned, there's this fancy wrought iron gate with the name Elias over the top of it, and right now the gate's closed. Doesn't look like it's chained or locked or anything like that, but it is like latched shut.
All right, well, I'll get out and go unlatch it.
Okay. You unlatch the gate. It opens with a creak. Behind this gate is basically just a fairly nicely paved little private road that leads into the forest a little bit. Are you guys going to walk? Are you going to ride the car in?
Well, we're not heathens. Let's walk. Let's ride the car in. Let's just move that.
Yeah. So you guys ride in with the car, and as you ride into the Elias estate, it's probably about a mile back before you run into the house.
Have a lot of land.
The home itself is looks like it's a generally well kept, large, like manor home, small mansion, and with it though, there's this look to the place, like the maintenance is beginning to suffer. Like there's a really nice garden out in front of this place, but there are weeds that are beginning to creep up in it.
They must be having some financial problems to not hire a gardener.
Yeah,
or maybe they simply don't want people around the house.
It doesn't look like it's that out of shape. It looks like it's just recently out of shape, maybe in the last 6 months.
Yeah. The lawn looks unmowed. Just looks everything looks a little neglected.
I also got didn't you get the sort of impression from Mildred that her brother tends to spend money and charge it to the company?
Yeah, looking at this place, the manor itself, it's 3 stories tall. It's painted white with these decorative ivy-laced trellises running up it. And one thing that immediately catches your attention is that flanking the entrance to this place, clashing with the architecture of it, like this is old, like kind of like colonial architecture, and then in front of it, and like flanking the doors, are 2 massive stone lions that look like they may have been like just plucked from a Chinese or maybe a Tibetan temple.
Yeah, I recognize those, like from Peking or something. Looks like we're up against a man who really likes Oriental stuff. We might have some trouble getting anything back from him.
Yeah,
maybe not any Oriental stuff. Maybe some books.
Off to the right side of the mansion, there's a kind of like what looks like is maybe like a large stable area. As you guys kind of pull up around the house, you can see that it kind of further back there looks like it's maybe some equestrian grounds or something in the back behind the home. And part of the stable looks like it's been converted over into a 2-car garage, which is currently closed up. From the look of things, there doesn't appear to be anyone home currently.
Is the brother supposed to be here, or is the brother somewhere being taken care of?
Well, she said he was ill. I'd assume he was here, right?
Yeah, I thought that's the impression that I got.
Let's go knock on the door. We'll see. It can't hurt to knock.
Okay. So you you make your way up to the door, rap on the knocker some, and are greeted with echoes within the house, but silence otherwise.
I'm going to try the door.
Okay. The door is locked.
Well, is this coming to where people lock their doors? Well, and I guess there's no servants either.
Is there a window to look through?
Yeah, there are some windows.
I'm gonna try and peer through.
Okay. Yeah, you peer through a window. Looks like you're just kind of picking one of the windows off to the side, so like the right side of the door. It looks like it is maybe a sitting room or something. It's dark in there. Nothing really jumps out at you as any kind of signs of immediate concern, though. I mean, it just looks like a somebody's wealthy, darkened sitting room. You see, books and conversation pieces inside of it. Some nicely upholstered chairs and lounges and things like that in there.
While he's doing that, I'm gonna go around the side or to the back and find the kitchen or servants' entry.
Yep.
Okay. So, with that, as you make your way around the side, you do see, making your way around the side of this place, there's a path that leads kind of between the house itself and the garage, and behind there's another large garden area behind the home, and a little further back is what looks like an equestrian track, and you can see there's stables, although no sounds of horses. You don't hear any kind of like even incidental sounds of horses coming out of that stable.
I give out a few little hellos, hello, see if anybody's back here, and I'm holding my purse so that I'm just looking like a neighbor or something.
Yeah. Other than birds in the distance, and the sound of wind, there's not really anything replying or any sounds at anybody's home. Coming around behind the house, you do see two areas where there's doors that lead out from the home. One looks like it's the door itself is painted to be relatively flush with the house itself. Looks like it's maybe some kind of a servant's entrance, and then there's like kind of like more of a larger, elaborate double door exit at the rear that leads out into the garden itself.
Well, I go up there and I peek through the windows and rap a little bit. I mean, in a house this big, he could be on one side of the house and not hear us knocking on the other. So
peeking into the windows of the servant's entrance, looks like this is probably a kitchen from what you can see. It's dark in there, but from what light's making its way through the windows, although there's curtains up, there's enough light in there to where you can, and enough that you can kind of see through the window to where you can see this looks like a kitchen. Looking around, nothing really out of the ordinary. You can kind of keep doing that around the house.
Well, I was going to say, knowing, since I'm used to, I have a kitchen of my own. Mm-hmm. As I look in, does it look clean? Does it look used? Or is it dirty?
Well, it looks fairly immaculately clean from what you can see.
Okay, so somebody's cleaning. I walk around to the other windows, but making my circuit around the house.
Okay, yeah. With it on the first floor, by and large, you see a few rooms checking in some of the windows that look like they aren't used. Like there are things inside, but they're covered in sheets, things like that. Okay. Beyond that, most of the first floor, it looks like maybe that sitting room. You see a dining room and the kitchen itself are kind of the rooms you're able to see. into that look like they're occupied at all. And from what you can tell of those 3 rooms, they look like they're all rather well appointed and kept cleaner than the outside.
Oh well, I should have brought my knitting needles. I'll walk back around and join the others, and I'm like, I don't think anybody's here.
I'm gonna start looking around. Is there any windows open on the second floor, maybe? Or
let's not think about breaking into his house. It's just we might have to come back later.
okay.
I mean, look at the place.
Well,
he's rich. He can't possibly be a bad person.
Asking about like windows or anything like that that's open. You don't see it yourself, Aldous, on the front side, but Aunt Gertie did see the 3rd story, which is maybe like attic space or something like that. Does have like an overlook.
Yeah, there's an overlook way up there, like a widow's walk.
Yeah.
But, good luck getting all the way up there. I don't know. I don't think that we need to break into the guy's house. He might be asleep upstairs is all.
That's true, but if he's so...
I'm sorry?
I was going to say, if he was so sick, why would he be left alone?
Yes, that's an excellent question.
Well, I don't know how sick he is. She just said he's sick. When you're rich and you're sick and you have the sniffles, you stay home.
That's true. But for a month?
I'm just surprised there's not servants or something. I mean, the size of this
quite
place,
strange.
The upkeep of a place like this, you need at least 4 or 5 people.
I want to check out the stables.
I wonder if we could have Randall look into their finances. Obviously, they're working hard, or at least she is.
Aunt Gertie, are those big statues worth money? Maybe that bankrupted him. You want to take a closer look at them? Maybe.
Well, as I walk over to them, do they look like they're something that were put here with the house, or are they completely new, brand new, and added? I mean, they might not be new, but are they attached?
Wait, what looks
the lions?
Oh, the lions. I mean, everything about them says that they're a recent addition. Like they don't match the house at all. The stone they're made out of doesn't match any of the stone work on the house at all. Yeah, 100%. Those look new.
Yeah, you might be right.
I mean, they don't look new in as much as these things actually look like they're weathered and possibly a couple hundred years old. But they obviously haven't been sitting up for a couple hundred years here.
Right.
Now, is there like a welcome mat at the front door?
There's a decorative mat, yeah.
Is there a key under that mat?
No, unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be.
It's under the lion. The lion weighs 12,000 pounds. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure that there's anything. Can we check around the porch and see if there's a hidden key?
Yeah, sure enough. While you and Cornelius are looking for that, Aldous is making his way over towards the stable. I'm gonna since I've left them for a while, I'm gonna cut back to Frank and Randall real quick, and then we'll come back to the stables. So, Frank and Randall, you guys have been putting in a little bit of work, doing some research on this company. And from what you have found, the company, Falsk Industries, is definitely a real company. They seem to have a presence in Colorado. Even the address matches. But with it, the logo for what you find from some Falsk Industries materials does not match what you see on this flyer.
Okay. Is it obviously wrong, or is it like a poor copy? Like someone thought they could be close to copying it, but a closer examination.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like kind of like a quick copy where somebody missed a few details. Where, like, you know, if you'd seen the original logo and like didn't really pay close attention to it, and then looked at this one later, you might not have even noticed a difference. But looking at them both together, yeah, definitely these are not the same logos.
Right. Okay.
Once Randall points that out, I'm gonna try and dig up some recent newspapers to look into the missing persons a little bit more.
Okay. Yeah, sure enough. With it, you pull up some of the recent newspapers. You don't really need like a spot, like a library or anything, because you're just pulling up recent local papers. Looking through them, you flip through. You're not really seeing any signs of missing persons.
Interesting.
So,
the one thing you see is like there's a little brief blurb about people showing interest in it's kind of like a half-assed interest piece about like a new California gold rush. Your guess is as good as mine. And a little bit about how people are being offered incredible rates to go out to California. With it, from what you can tell of the newspaper article, like they seem to talk about like it's multiple companies or something like that. Like from what you can tell, your guess is whoever wrote the article probably didn't even research this very well.
okay. Interesting. So nothing in the paper about missing people, but it seems like this little blurb is kind of saying, hey, people are moving because of this, because of the money, which would make sense why then they wouldn't write articles about missing people, because people are just moving. It's not newsworthy.
Yep.
Okay.
Right.
All right. One last thing I want to look at is the tannery. Are they unionized, or have they had union problems? Like, I'm trying to think, hey, maybe this is why people are leaving, or maybe this is why they're trying to beat down the workers during that time period.
From what you see with the tannery, looking through newspaper articles about the Great Eastern Tannery, doesn't really make a lot of news. By and large, it's mostly mentioned like in like occasional like business pieces about. Apparently, it does pretty well. One article from a few years ago actually mentions Woodrow by name as the president of the Great Eastern Tannery, and looks like it was probably written by somebody who kind of like interviewed him as part of like a local business people kind of like spotlight thing, and it kind of subtly throws shade at his way, like that he's not quite running that tannery to the best of its possibilities. But with it, I mean, it's something that generally there's no signs of any kind of like labor problems or anything like that with the place. Like
right.
it. From the look of it, this tannery has been in operation for quite some time.
Okay. All right. And last thing I want to look up, is there any like thing in the paper about Woodrow handing the presidency over? Like, usually that'd be kind of maybe a big news for a big company if they're swapping presidents.
You do find something along those lines. With it, the mention of Woodrow's sister Mildred taking over the tannery. There's like a little quote by her about it. Basically, assuring investors that she plans to carry on the family business in Woodrow's temporary absence, and a lot of what her quotes in the article are about seems to be mostly stuff to reassure people that she's going to handle it in a professional and masculine fashion.
All right. Oh, good. Well, if I think of anything else to look up, I'll let you know. But I'm assuming this is taking a lot of time of us digging.
Yeah. You guys. That's pretty much what you guys have found so far. And back to Aldous. So, meanwhile, at stately Elias Manor, Aldous makes his way around down the footpath over towards the stables. There's basically a little latched gate into the stables. You open it up and let yourself in. Looking around the stables, this place, excuse me, you're a big game hunter. You've dealt with animals.
And I have a good riding skill too, so I'm familiar with horses.
Okay, go ahead and roll it. You're gonna get information anyways, but this maybe you might pull some extra stuff.
You want natural world or riding? I have both.
Whichever one's better.
Natural world.
Yeah, because they would both be appropriate here.
58 out of 60, so a regular success.
Okay. So one thing you notice in here, looking around, this place was definitely occupied by at least 4 horses, at least 4 within the last couple of months. With it, you find some strangeness in here. There are some blood splatters in here, like maybe somebody almost butchered a horse in here. Another thing you find that's really strange is there's a kick in the wall where obviously a shoed horse print in the wall that is about 8 feet up, where probably higher than that even, because the way it's been kicked and where it is, no horse in any normal circumstance could have possibly kicked there. You see all kinds of things like this across the stable. It just, something is not right about this place. You see a stable hands room that looks like that was occupied relatively recently as well. You see a few cans of food, some reading material, some other things in here. It looks like somebody was living in here until maybe a couple of months ago. There's just a thin layer of dust on everything. Make a spot hidden check.
All right. 40 out of 65.
Okay. So looking around the stable hands room, yeah, this place, it looks like somebody had been living here and just left it. You kind of take a look at it, looking around, moving a few things, and you actually kind of pick up a pillow on the cot that's in here, and on one of the blankets is a small line of blood.
Like sprayed or like dripped or?
It looks almost like it had like pressed against like a big cut or something like that.
All right. This is very strange. All right, I'm gonna walk back over to. Well, I'm gonna take another quick look around and see if there's anything else I see. If not, I want to go and let Gertie and Cornelius know about what I found.
Yeah, that's the only other thing you find besides that, and nothing else really. Yeah, just that stable. That just you've done a lot of riding, you've dealt with a lot of animals. Something about that stable's not right. Stables shouldn't have that much blood in them for one, and horses should not be kicking places that because that wasn't the only kind of unusual hoof print that you saw in there. But as you make your way back, Aunt Gertie and Cornelius have been kind of looking around the entrance of the home. In front, you guys haven't really seen too much. The windows in the front of the home. I mean, it looks like they look like they're locked, but somebody may be able to force one.
We have no reason to break into this man's home.
Young Cornelius,
Yes.
a quick question. It's been a while since I've been back to the States. Do horses have wings in the United States?
Why no, Aldous?
Well, now, Aunt Gertie, I don't know if you want to go in there, but there's a lot of blood, possibly horse blood, and shoed horse prints, well, more than just a print, kicked into the wall 8-10 feet off the ground. Like the horses were flying around I know they're not flying, but what other excuse would you have to have a horse print on a 8 or 10 foot, maybe 12 foot up in the wood, broken, like a horse kicked violently into the wood? And there was at one point a stable boy, but there's a bloody pillow in there.
Oh, good heavens.
Like, it's like they've disappeared. And I remember Saul Washington saying his workers disappeared. And then didn't somebody mention something about a desk that was cleared out? It's like people are just up and leaving, or
There was a lot of blood. And there was blood under the blood at the pillow.
Yeah, I mean, come take a look, but just so you know.
I don't want to see. That's disgusting.
Well, that sounds. I mean, if they're that's terrible. That seems a good enough reason to.
I'm wondering. Her brother's been sick for, what did she say, a month?
A month
and a half, something like that.
There's no servants in the house, which there must have been servants. They all left. Blood. I'm thinking, what if somebody or these things have consumption?
There's a lot of
blood, people, and it's like an epidemic of the blood of it going around, which means you should wash your hands when we get back. As far as I suppose it depends on how big the horses were. If these were big like Morgans or Clydesdales, then if they reared up, maybe they could kick that high. How big was the foot? Was it a big foot or a little foot?
I'm guessing they were just regular size, but it's physically impossible, even Clydesdale, to kick that high. I mean,
unless he was really mad or afraid of something.
Yeah, these definitely weren't Clydesdales.
What's that?
These definitely weren't Clydesdales. Aldous is able to recognize that. Like these were kind of like more like
Regular old Arabians.
yeah, like sporting and riding horses.
I mean, there's an equestrian track there. There would be nice horses, fairly on the thinner side, muscular, but not, not work horses. These are show horses.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
even if they were to jump, let's say it's an 8-foot vault at most, that still doesn't put a hoof flat against the wall. They would jump with their, feet out. This is a flat kick.
Yeah, I think this place is giving me the creeps. Something's wrong here.
How much time do we have before we need to collect the other gents and get to the diner?
Well, I say we leave now and go collect them, but it's why isn't her brother here? That's kind of strange.
Listen, with the things out in the stables and what we saw out in the woods, everybody who comes in contact with this stuff, just things happen to them. What if he needs our help?
Does she live here?
I believe she said when Randall was talking with the receptionist, they said the manor was very nice, and that's how she referred to her house.
So all of these things that we've seen, the clean kitchen and stuff, that could be her. I'm wondering if her brother's not here at all. Maybe
they're covering up his disappearance.
But she had boxes of the stuff in her office, and she didn't tell us about it. He might be in there. He might need our help. So I'm going to go over to start trying to force a window open. You're muted, Luke.
Okay, there we go. So whatever's relevant, you can either make a strength check or to just try to force it open, or if you've got locksmith or something else relevant, you can try to do that.
Nope, I just got strength.
Here, try this. I don't know. I've seen it in a book. I guess
I read it in a book. Ooh, 06. That is an extreme success on my strength.
Okay. So, yeah, Cornelius is looking around. You guys had already kind of cased this place looking for signs of things. You had seen one of the windows that wasn't locked, but it had years and years ago looked like it had been painted over, like to where like it had kind of gotten stuck. And so you get your hands on this window and heave, and it breaks and slides open. Like, it doesn't destroy the window or anything, but it damages the frame a little bit, just enough for it to be able to slide open and break the paint free.
Careful. We don't want to break anything. They'll know we've been here.
All right, Aldous. I'm a little too big to fit through this window myself.
Go around and open up the door.
Aldous, you're muted.
Sorry about that. I'm going to poke my head in first just to look around, make sure.
Okay. Well, looks like you're looking into the sitting room that Gertie had been checking out before. With it, you don't see any signs of people or anything. It looks, quiet and dark. You're gonna pull yourself up and in.
Yeah, and then I'll come around and open the front door.
Yeah, easily done. I mean, it's dark. Nothing, no sounds in there but your footsteps. And you make your way out of the sitting room into a large, dark, kind of central hallway, I guess, with stairs leading up to the second floor and several doors that lead off into other rooms. One thing you immediately notice as you step out into this hallway, even though it's dark in here, there's not a lot of light, but some of the windows are open up on the second level. You can see in this room there are some crates just kind of pushed along some of the walls, and you can see there's a bunch of stuff that looks like it's been kind of unpacked, and you see a bunch of plinths and things like that, and they look like they're holding artwork of Indian, Chinese, Southeast Asian persuasion of a number of different kinds of things. You unlock the door, swings open, and as the light floods in from the door, you can see even more of it. Some of these crates, those are definitely marked with the auction house, North Cape Auctions and Estates.
Are any of them open?
Oh yeah.
Now don't break anything because we don't want anybody to know we're here.
I agree.
Yes, but Alice, you want to accompany me? I've
Sure.
already looked through some of this stuff. I just want to make sure that Woodrow's okay if he's here.
I have
you guys do that, and I'm going to start looking at this stuff and see if I can identify anything with my antique skill.
I take out my pistol. It's a 38 revolver, and I have it in my hand. I'm not holding the trigger, but I have it in my hand.
Gotcha.
And, look around.
Okay.
Cornelius, upstairs?
Yeah.
So I start creeping up the stairs. Not super slow, but I'm trying
I'm
to.
following behind him.
Okay. Gertie, you're checking out the boxes themselves?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What'd you get on appraise?
Oh.
Appraise or history?
I got 30 out of 65, so that's better than half.
Yeah, it's the real deal. This definitely looks like it matches some of the stuff from the Pell lot. This is definitely it. I mean, you actually look through some of the boxes and actually find a shipping manifest indicating that. This stuff is worth a pretty penny.
Oh, let's see what we got here. Oh, this face, Ming Dynasty trash. No. I want to look for anything unusual and any books that might be.
Gotcha. Okay. So you're checking the stuff downstairs. Meanwhile, Aldous and Cornelius, you guys head upstairs?
Yes.
Okay. So, as you guys make your way through the upstairs, first thing you notice, there's a number of paintings that look like they're from India or Japan. A couple of different locations. Like it almost. I mean, whoever bought these things, there's no real sense of grouping them together in any kind of appropriate context. Like
right.
They're like, yeah, that is definitely some kind of Hindu deity right next to some Japanese landscape painting. Right next to what looks like a kind of some kind of Southeast Asian looks like a illuminated hadith page, like where they've got like kind of it's in Arabic Southeast Asian art enhancing it, and with it a lot of that stuff everywhere. You guys see there's some looks like a an access hatch that kind of that leads up some stairs up into an attic. You guys see there's a main hallway that leads further back, down another number of doors. Did you guys want to check the attic, or did you want to go begin to inspect the hall?
I was thinking of just going down the hall and opening up doors and peeking in.
Yeah. So the two of you kind of divvy up, begin peeking indoors. You see a lot of stuff that looks relatively normal. Like, there's a sewing room here, bathroom, guest bedroom that obviously hasn't been used in a long time. Another bedroom and a couple of other things. Everything looks pretty normal until which of you has less luck?
I love that question. I have 70.
I have 66.
Okay. So, Aldous, You open a door, and it leads into what looks like is maybe a study. There's all kinds of books in here. There's a big desk, papers everywhere, boxes, books spilled out onto the ground. But that's not what draws your attention. What draws your attention first is the fact that somebody has scrawled surfaces like the walls, big chunks of the floor, parts of the desk in yellow paint with these sigils and insignias carved into, or not carved into, like painted onto them that you don't really recognize. Make a sanity test.
All right. 18.
You made it? Okay.
Yes.
So, it's weird. Some of these sigils almost hurt to look at. Like you look away from them and look back at them, and you swear some of them have changed their positions. Like they're not exactly how they were the last time you looked at them. Like even just between blinks, it almost looks like they're different. But this study is chaos in here. There's like I said, there's a large wooden desk covered in what looks like papers and files and things. There's several boxes that look like they've come from the auction house as well. Books and scrolls of various languages. A lot of them look like they're definitely in Chinese. You see a pile of Bibles scattered everywhere. Make a spot hidden or a tracking roll. I think you probably have tracking really good.
I have tracking and spot hidden both fairly well. Ooh, 88. I failed on both.
Okay, no problem. So yeah, the Bibles look like they're a mess. Like they're kind of scattered everywhere, and with it, besides like I said, the large, impressive mahogany desk with all kinds of things stacked onto it. Over in one corner, there's a table with what looks like flyers scattered everywhere, and maybe screen printing equipment that's set up. And from what you can see walking into this room, some of the flyers, they almost look like rough drafts of that one that you were given at the tannery.
Oh wow! I'm gonna whistle and call Cornelius.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, actually, I'll say that. I'll say, "Get Gertie, get Gertie." So both of them come.
Okay. Yeah, it's not long until Cornelius, you grab up Aunt Gertie, and the two of you guys come in. Both of you make a sanity check.
Yep.
What in the hell?
And with my luck, I can never pass these darn things.
Sorry,
I
guys.
almost got half, but
Okay.
regular.
Okay. So yeah, you kind of have the same experience that Aldous does, Gertie. These yellow sigils everywhere kind of give you a headache. Cornelius, you lose a point of sanity, and you hear singing from somewhere. Gertie and Aldous, you guys are kind of taking in the room a little, kind of checking things out, and then you both turn back and you see Cornelius is like standing in the door, just kind of like staring slack-jawed, and
Funny, what's wrong?
looks like he's mumbling. Then, yeah, he kind of seems to snap out of it. Cornelius, you don't hear any sound anymore. You're in this strange place, and Aunt Gertie and Aldous are looking at you a little worried.
Oh, what's wrong? Is there something on my face?
No,
Kinda,
but I'm starting to think that her brother is like loony cuckoo.
Oh, what gives you that impression, huh?
Look at all this.
It hurts. Look at. I'm gonna step out into the hallway.
it's giving me a headache.
Well, it's the color. it clashes with everything in the room.
While they're doing that, I want to take a peek up in the attic so we can get.
I want to look around and see there's books and stuff in here.
Yes. So yeah, there's a lot of the books look like they are all kinds of stuff. Literature books, like collections of poetry. Some of them look like they're just like documents, things like that. All kinds of stuff. Mostly
like holds a sacred position, you know, a very special book on its own stand or anything like that.
With that, as you look around, in this study, you know, you're seeing there's Bibles and all kinds of things like that. One thing that kind of catches your notice after looking around for a while, with a pass over the big mahogany desk, you find there's a thin book on there. Looks like it's like some kind of like composition journal or something, and printed on the front of it in neat lettering is Arkham Paranormal Research Society minutes.
Paranormal Research Society. He's part of some sort of a club. Paranormal research. I flip it open and look inside. Is it like journal entries or?
Yeah, it is. With a really, really quick cursory glance, like the first couple
that's
of
all I'm giving it,
first couple of entries look like they're just normal meeting minutes, like discussing different occult topics, like, you know, what's Aleister Crowley up to, other things like that. I'm
going to flip to the last entry.
Well, as you flip to later entries, this goes from being like a quaint little journal to these. They almost seem like first-hand accounts of monster stories, like dealing with beasts and something about the old gods coming again. When the stars are right. It all looks kind of like fantasy.
This poor boy's probably losing his mind.
But you know, you kind of flip through it. At one point, you see the word Gek, and it's a brief thing about how apparently they it looks like it's actually written and signed by Pell. Says that he went out and made a deal with Gek. That if Gek would behave and stick to the cemetery, they wouldn't have a problem. And in exchange, Gek provided them with answers to what you don't know. This is kind of incomplete, but it only gets worse over time.
Well, as I look at the very last page, the last entry, is it dated?
With this, the last entry on this looks like it's dated from around the time of Pell's disappearance, actually.
Oh.
And
so I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it in my pocketbook for later perusal.
Just kind of with a quick read, you lose D6 sanity and gain 2 points of Cthulhu Mythos.
Oh, D6 sanity.
Yeah.
Well, I just lost 5 sanity. Oh!
Okay. Oh, 5. That's enough for one of the cards. What do you want to pull one?
I hope it's not extreme violence. That'll kind of suck. We kill everybody in the room. It says flee. So I think the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to grab the book, and as I head down the hallway, I'm going to be like, guys, we got to get out of here now. We got to get out.
Okay.
And I just head downstairs.
Okay.
And head towards the car.
So yeah, she's been making increasingly worried noises as she sat at this desk flipping through it. She kind of drew your attention to it, Aldous and Cornelius. As she like stands bolt upright, there's a flutter of papers out at the desk. Cornelius, you recognize from some of the papers. A couple words jump out at you from those. But with that, what are you guys up to as far as Aunt Gertie? She's going at haste.
For 3 rounds, I'm going to keep.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, as she shoots past, I'll just go get her. I'm going to run over to those papers that caught my attention.
I'm going to follow Gertie down the stairs, see what's wrong. I'm calling out to her. You like not screaming, but are you okay? What happened? And I just kind of like trailing her.
Okay. And I'm oh. And I go out the door and start heading towards the car. Okay. Probably by the time I get to the car, I'll have come to my senses. But
nobody's in there. What happened?
And I've got the book.
The handwritten notes that you see there, Cornelius. Where are
they?
What's that? They're on the desk. Like they were kind of sitting to the side. Aunt Gertie had gone for the book. When she picked that book up and left, there were some notes here that like Aunt Gertie hadn't really looked at yet. One thing you quickly notice is like they start in one hand, and then the majority of them are in a different handwriting.
All right, so D reveals much. Page 34. Whispers of truth in the darkness. Ritual of knowledge. Page 84. Told by the dreams where to find it. I am the chosen. I will call the ice demons, and their lord will grant me power. Page 84 has none of what Woodrow writes about. Must consult a greater knowledge.
And that part is in a totally different handwriting.
Okay. Signs in ARRP manual that the steeds may be the void servants of the king of Alberon, reference page 197. Poor Woodrow, missing finding rights. What a beautiful fool. Found page 382. The will of the mother of the thousand young, keepers of the ancient ways, life, and many birth signs in our time of the black goat that birthed them. At their time has come. They will scour the land with violence and unholy life. Let's see.
And that's where the other clippings are attached to.
All right. And then so you have multiple deaths at Arkham Dump. Shocking news from the city garbage dump on the western side of this side of town this morning. 4 people are confirmed dead by gunshots or immolation, murdered last night under the cover of unseasonal and violent thunderstorm. Hank O'Brien Jr., a local farmhand, was discovered alive at the scene and is currently undergoing investigation for possible involvement. Sources indicate he was armed and several of his known associates are among the dead. This horrendous crime has shocked Arkham's law enforcement community. In addition to the deceased, reports from the scene indicate that hundreds of assorted animal corpses litter the surrounding area. Authorities have yet to determine how these animals were lured or killed. Unknown chemical causes continuing animal deformities. As we have reported previously, numerous cases of animal births with strange and distressing deformities have been reported by hunters, farmers, and pet owners west of Arkham. We now have more than 150 such reports. Authorities still officially have no comment, and no link has been established to the mass animal die-off around the city dump in April. Although it is thought to be related to a possible chemical contamination, no evidence has been found to determine what may be responsible. The mayor's office has released multiple statements declaring that no humans have been harmed and that citizens should not distress. Faculty from the Miskatonic University chemistry and biology departments are consulting with the police and local officials, but have yet to find a cause. They request that any strange animal births, unusual puddles, or strange chemical odors be reported. Contact Miskatonic University, Department of Chemistry, care of Dr. Rosenfield. Then the final of the notes. The stars are right, and the black goat children herald the end. The king will deliver me to a new era, returning my brother to me as a boon and cowing all who would stand in his way. He will have his audience. And then it has a symbol at the bottom of it. Does that symbol match the symbols in this room?
As a matter of fact, you do see it among the symbols in the room.
Well, that is horrifying. That's lovely. Lovely, lovely stuff.
And so, as you're reading through that, Aldous, you've chased Aunt Gertie. She's made her way down the stairs, and back onto the first floor. By the time she seems to come to her senses,
You muted, Tom.
Acting. oh, all this. Look. And I point. I say, he's been making deals with this Geck fella, the guy in the pit. We gotta get out of here.
We will. Young Cornelius is coming right now, and we're leaving. Are you okay though?
I don't
relax. I put my hand on your shoulder. Just breathe. Everything's gonna be okay.
We gotta go. My heart.
I'm gonna look back towards the house. Do I see Cornelius coming out yet?
Yes, you do. I mean, presumably, Cornelius. I guess you're gathering up the papers and following after them.
Mm-hmm.
Cornelius, as you do, you notice in the hallway. It looks like this is probably something that Aunt Gertie had dropped from that book as she was kind of fleeing. It looks like there's like it was maybe paper clipped into that book and was jostled free when she ran for it. But there's notes here for what looks like, well, make an education roll.
52, that's a pass.
Okay. Chemical equipment of various kinds, like chemistry equipment, and something about to be delivered. Looks like it's to be delivered to the cabin.
To the cat. Chemical equipment, the clippings of the chemical agent affecting the animals. What the hell is going on here? I'm going to pick it up and...
Okay.
I want to walk back up to the house and close the window.
Okay. Yeah, easily done. You pull the window down, slide shut.
Yeah, we've locked the door on our way out.
Come on, Corny, we gotta go.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Is anyone going to stop and check any of the other rooms on the first floor or anything like that? Or are you guys just heading out?
We're just going.
Head out.
Okay. So you guys make your way out. I'm guessing hop into the car and begin to drive out of there?
Yeah.
Correct.
I have an odd feeling that the president of that tannery
Mildred.
has done away with her brother. Look at this. I'm going to show her the notes talking about how Woodrow's an idiot, like a beautiful fool or whatever.
And as you guys drive away to pick up Frank and Randall, I guess that's where we'll draw it to an end tonight.
Excellent. All right. Our players included Morgan Llewellyn, Brian Daly, Keith Craig, Jason Melanchuk, and myself, with Luke Strom as the keeper of the secrets. We're currently producing up to 4 shows a week with music and sound effects added in post-production in order to create a richer listener experience. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. We have a new patron, I think I haven't done this one yet, but we do have a new patron who calls himself the Mole Man, of all things. He has pledged $3 a month. Thank you very much, Mole Man. If you'd like to become a patron, visit our Patreon account. Just $1 or $2 a month helps us a lot. There's a link in the description below. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel and punch that bell icon for updates on our latest shows, and leave us some comments. We like reading them and answering any questions you might have. This is Tom Rayleigh, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.